Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Grimm the Rock DJ, and welcome to another video where we're going to be talking about the best albums, rock albums and metal albums that I've released this year. We are halfway through the year, so I wanted to do a recap. This list is very subjective and it's just my top 15 best albums that I've listened to, my friends have listened to, and also that I've seen critics reviewing properly. And they're going to be honorary mentions in there, so stick around. And for number 15, we have Weezer. Weezer released two albums this year. They released one called OK Human on January 29th, 2021, and then they released Van Weezer on May 7th, 2021. Both albums seemed to do very well. They received a lot of positive reviews, and I've listened to OK Human, but I haven't listened to Van Weezer yet. But as I said, I'm also relying on what critics have said, and Van Weezer actually received very positive reviews from critics. Next up, we have Foo Fighters, my favorite band. Foo Fighters is my number one band if you know me in person. They released an album this year by the name of Medicine at Midnight on February 5th, 2021. It's not necessarily their best work as a huge Foo Fighters fan, but I can tell you that I really enjoyed listening to it. It received a lot of positive reviews. I could see the scores were 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, so, and 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. So generally did well. It's not their best work. I can't compare it with an album like Wasting Light, but I really enjoyed listening to it. Next up after that, we have Pretty Reckless. Pretty Reckless, they released an album on February 12th, 2021. The album is called Death by Rock and Roll. It had a lot of amazing singles, and I remember when I follow the Pretty Reckless on Instagram and Twitter, they posted that their album had, when it released, it was topping charts. They actually showed the pictures. I don't know which charts. I don't know if it was hard rock charts or mainstream charts or there are so many charts to keep up with, but it was topping charts and doing very well. The song 25 from that album was a favorite for me, and also Death by Rock and Roll. And also there's this song by the name of And So It Went featuring Tom Morello. Huge banger, that one. Next up after that is Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon released an album on March 5th, 2021. The album is called When You See Yourself. The singles include 100,000 People and The Bandit. It's not the best Kings of Leon album. A friend of mine told me it's not the best Kings of Leon album, but it's worth listening to. It's a significant release. Some of the albums in here are not really the best work by that band, but they are significant releases that I must listen to. Next up after that, we have Architects from the UK. Architects released an album called For Those That Wish to Exist. It was released February 26th, 2021. This album, actually the first time I listened to it, I wasn't that much into it, but right now it's one of the most listened to albums on my playlist. The songs Animals, Black Lungs, Dead Butterflies, and there's so many other songs in there that I feel don't get enough credit, like Giving Blood, and which other one? Goliath featuring Simon Neil from Biffy Clyro, and also Impermanence. Impermanence is a very great track. So Architects, if you didn't enjoy that one, consider giving it a re-listen, and I think you'll really like it. Next after that, we have to go to Japan for a bit and check out the new Bandmade album. Yeah, the new Bandmade album, Unseen World. I haven't listened to the whole album because I'm trying to avoid listening to the whole thing so that I can do proper reactions on this channel, but I have reacted to some of the songs from this album, such as Warning, No God, Manners. Yeah, I've done those reactions, so I'm going to leave a link to pop up somewhere around on the screen or at the end screen. Really love this one, of course, because it's Bandmade. Of course, Bandmade don't make bad music ever. Bandmade received positive reviews for this album, and it was a huge banger. Next up is A Day to Remember with their album You're Welcome. This is a very polarizing album. Some people said it was absolutely horrible, some people said that it was good. Hey, that's why it's in this list. It's a significant release. You should listen to it and decide for yourself. The reviews were all over the place. Some people gave it a 4 out of 5, some people gave it a 5 out of 10. So it's like you have to listen to it. I personally didn't listen to the whole of it, but what I listened to I enjoyed, with songs like Mind Reader. I really enjoyed Mind Reader. Resentment is a song that I really enjoyed. Degenerates is a favorite of mine there. There's also one called Last Chance to Dance, Bad Friend. I actually reacted to it on the channel, and what I listened to I really liked. So maybe the ones that I didn't listen to were the ones that were bad. Next up, we have Epica. Epica have a new album. It chucked on February 26th. February 26th, 2021. The album is called Omega. I haven't listened to it, but critics gave it very high reviews. There are channels that I follow that critique music, so I don't watch all the reviews, but I saw the reviews and they were very favorable towards Epica's new album, which is called Omega. Next up we have Niratias. Yes, Niratias. It's the new Chevelle album. Niratias is a acronym for Nothing Is Real, and this is a simulation. It's the new album by Chevelle. It received, of course, amazing reviews because it's Chevelle and it's a significant album that I think that if you're a huge rock fan, you should get to listen to in 2021. Next up, we have Evanescence. This is an album that I've listened to. I haven't listened to all the songs, but probably like 70% of the album. The album is called The Bitter Truth. Amazing album. I really enjoyed it. It actually received very high praise from critics, and it got scores of 8 out of 10, A minus, 7 out of 10. Next up is a metal album by the name of Sleep Society, which is by While She Sleeps. While She Sleeps chucked a new album in April 16th, 2021. Sleep Society, I've actually reacted to one of the songs from that album. It's called Nervous, and what can I say? I mean, it's While She Sleeps. They don't make bad music ever. So that is an album that you should definitely get to listen to if you're a rock fan. Next up is another metal album called Fortitude by GOJIRA. This one apparently received critical acclaim. Yeah, this one received critical acclaim from critics. It says that Fortitude was met with critical acclaim from critics. At Metacritic, the album has received a score of 80 out of 100 That's 80%, based on 8 reviews indicating generally favorable reviews. And I can see also the other scores are 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 4 out of 5. So yeah, it's GOJIRA. Actually, I've listened to a bit of this one, but I haven't listened to the whole thing. I really like the song Amazonia from this album. Next up is a favorite of mine that I've listened to the whole thing and I really enjoyed it, and that is Typhoons by Royal Blood. If you know me in person, I have been sharing this album everywhere. I've been telling people to listen to it. I love it so much. And I think Måneskin from Italy with their new album. It's a 2021 album and the name is in Italian, I believe. I can't say it properly. It's Teatro di Volume 1, I think. I'm going to write it here on screen. I'm not sure of the pronunciation, but Måneskin, love. This is the one that I have discovered in 2021 that I have just fallen in love with right now. They're like probably in my top 5 bands right now of 2021. And if you haven't listened to this one, especially the song, I believe the song Zitti, buoni is from this album. So that's a very huge banger, especially after the whole thing with Eurovision. And one last album, the 15th one. The 15th one has to go to Beartooth with their album Below. This one has chucked in 2021. I believe it just chucked recently as of the time that I'm recording this. I don't know the exact time. I haven't listened to it, but I've seen critics reviewing it and they've given it positive reviews. I need to give some honorary mentions to a local album from my country of Kenya, which is for LYT. That is Last Year's Tragedy. They released a new album this year, and it's an album that you should check it out. I will leave the link somewhere here on the screen or in the description section in case you're interested in listening to it. They are a metalcore band from Kenya. Another honorary mention goes to Icon for Hire. Haven't listened to it. I saw the reviews were iffy, and I like Icon for Hire, so this is just subjectively for me. Next up has to be Greta Van Fleet. Not their best album. The reviews weren't completely positive, but it's Greta Van Fleet. It's a significant release, so I need to mention it. And lastly, there is Olivia Rodrigo. Olivia Rodrigo isn't really like rock. I know she does like pop and also rock, but worth mentioning. Have you listened to any of these albums? Make sure to just drop me a comment below. As I said, let me say this again, these albums were in no specific order, so it's not like I was ranking them. I just listed them, and this is in no specific order really. So if you enjoyed this list, make sure to smash like and subscribe. If your favorite album that you've listened to was in my list, make sure to comment below, and I will leave a link For albums for last year that I did a top was it top 10, top 20 albums for 2020. I'll leave it here on screen, and I hope to see you in the next video. All right, peace.